Hello everyone, it is Susan here and welcome to my channel. So this is my crafty chit chat and slow stitching video that comes out every Monday. So we're going to continue with the block that we started last week. And let me share with you the threads that I pulled out to use. So these two are the, oh gosh, I'm trying to read it, are the Presentia threads right here. And gosh, this one, I'm almost done with this. So I've used, I guess that's my favorite color, I guess, very neutral, of course. So I thought both of those would look good on here. And then I also took this one out, which is the Wonderfill Pearl Cotton in size 8. And if you look at the colors in it, I mean, it kind of matches. So I don't know that I'll definitely use, I'm sure I probably will. Like something like this would look super pretty, like on a more neutral background. So that's probably even what I'll do, is also that there. And I had recently purchased some fibers. And I was thinking, well, I mean, I do love to couch. And I figured I could maybe pull some onto this block. You know, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, but I think that this might work. I mean, the color isn't perfect, but what I was thinking of doing was putting a piece here, couching it here, and then maybe just another piece up here. And that's it, having it in two little spots. So I'm considering that, and I think that's what I want to do. But, so I haven't touched this. I do think I moved this little, actually that goes that way. This little yo-yo, I did move that. But what I'm going to do is, and I don't normally do this because, I don't know, I don't really look at pictures for my crafting. But in this case, I think I am going to just take a picture with my phone. And then the reason why I wanted to do that was because of the placement of the buttons. So like a lot of times, I mean, I used to do that, you know, back in the scrapbook days, right? You get your whole scrapbook, you know, your 12 by 12 scrapbook page all set with where you want to place things. And then you have to remove it all to glue it all down, right? So, I mean, yeah, that idea has been around for many, many, many years. Yeah, so I don't normally do that. I may not even remember that I have that picture, but I have it because I kind of like where these buttons are. The only thing that's bothering me at this particular moment is the fact that this button and this yo-yo are directly on top of one another. So maybe I could even like move that over a little bit, but I just like, I don't want anything to line up perfectly. That is not good for me. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Okay, so now I'm going to move all of this and let's go ahead. I think I'm going to start pinning this stuff down. Let's just do it. I mean, why not? I really love this. It's the exact same as it was last week. I haven't touched it and I love it. And yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and let's get this all pinned. And you know, as far as pinning goes, I struggle with pinning, and I think I've said that before. It's just difficult for me to pin things and keep them where I really intended them to be. Because, like, look at this. I don't know what my problem I don't know what my problem is with pinning. But I do struggle. And yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, I mean, what happens a lot of times when I do a block like this is, even though I pin it, which of course, you know, gives me the reminder of where I wanted things, I mean, sometimes I still move them anyway, you know, the pieces, and they can end up in a little bit different spot, which is fine. This is just kind of like my first pass at how I envision or how I want this block to turn out. So like this little brown piece right here, I think we've moved multiple times. So like already. Okay, so already this piece right here, I was going to put on top of this long piece because you could see through it. But now that I'm pinning it down, like, see how this piece of the lace is over multiple pieces of fabric? This one is not, but it could very easily be over multiple pieces of fabric just by me doing that, right? So just by me moving it a ½ inch over, it creates just a whole different feel, because having it like this, I have a definite line right here of where fabrics are coming together. But if I do this, that line goes away. Okay, I just got a phone call from my mother. And when my phone rings, it turns off my recording. So, but anyway, I have, at this point now, I don't know what I was talking about. But anyway, so we have it all pinned down. And I think what I'm going to do, let's get some thread on these needles and let's begin. So I really do like this colorful thread for this neutral piece of fabric up on top. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to do the Kantha stitch, which is, as most of you know, I believe, because I've shown it, it's just the stitching across, or up and down, or any direction, vertically, or horizontally, or diagonally. You can do it any which way. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do. And I think I'm just going to do a horizontal Kantha stitch up here. So I guess I'll just start now. See, so something's bothering me. So see how this dark brown piece is lower. It's not at the same height up here. So what I'm going to do is I want to pull this piece down just a tad so that it is in a better spot. And then this way, when this goes on here, yes, okay, that looks much better. You see now how this is straight across? So that's much better. So I'm gonna pin this stuff back on and we will stitch. And as you can see, I have sun coming in through the window, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining about the sun, but I did neglect to close the curtain. So unfortunately, you are going to see the sun, and you'll see the shade of where the trees are blowing outside, and beautiful day, beautiful fall day. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying the weather. And so is my garden. Speaking of gardens, I'm starting something new. I am now all of a sudden just starting to get interested in medicinal herbs. So I'll talk to you about that in a second. So see right here, I decided to take out a few stitches, which I don't always do. It depends. Depends on my mood. It depends, I don't know, on how bad I really think it is or whatever. But I did take a few stitches out because they started going like on a slant downward, and that is not good. So yeah, because when you do Kantha stitching, even though it does not have to be perfect by any means, if you start going on a slant, and when you do the next row down, and if you're following along with the row that's slanted, then all of your rows are going to be slanted. So again, they do not have to be perfect by any means, but I didn't want too much of a slant going on there because I kind of felt like it just, well, you know, it would be better if I had fixed that. So now back to my medicinal herbs. So let me tell you, wow, who knew it was such a big thing? That's all I can say. And a lot of you were probably saying, well, I've been doing it for years, or, you know, maybe there's some people that have been thinking about it as well. But I mean, I'm just literally, I just received my first book. I ordered it online from Barnes and Noble, and it came yesterday. So I started reading it, and it's called Medicinal Herbs by Rosemary Gladstar. And it's highly recommended by somebody that I watch on YouTube. Her channel name is Tidbits, Tidbits. And she doesn't, I mean, they have a farm, they do the whole thing, but she doesn't have a tremendous amount of herbal videos, but the ones that she has, they help me because she's just learning as well. So she's passing along her new knowledge that she's gleaning from books and blogs and stuff like that. Oh, and she writes a blog too. But anyways, so I'm reading this medicinal herbs book. And, you know, I mean, I don't know. You think, oh, I could grow a few things. I could do a few things, right? And then when you really get into it, it's like, wow, so you really have to know what the herbs do and what it is that you want to get out of it, so you know which herbs you need to be using. So I haven't even gotten that far yet, but at least I realize that, because you can get overwhelmed, right? So at least I realize in my head that instead of getting overwhelmed, what I'm going to do is read this book, and I'm already highlighting stuff in it, and I will highlight you know, like something for headaches is good to have, or even something maybe to relax you, you know, whether it's for sleeping or you know, just to de-stress you. Like there's certain things that I think are good for anybody to have, or you know, if you have a cold coming on, that kind of thing, or the flu, right? So anyway, so hopefully by the time I figure out what herbs I need, you know, then, I mean, you can place an order for these herbs. I mean, you don't have to grow them. So maybe what I would do, you know, I'm not going to go spend hundreds of dollars. I'm not going to do it. So maybe I'll buy 2, 3, 4 different herbs, right? And make the most I can out of those few. And then next year I'll ramp up my herb gardening. So I might now I'm thinking about even doing a special herb garden next year. So you know how it goes, just like with crafting and with sewing. It's like, oh, I'm just going to do this. It'll be fun. And then the next thing you know, you get sucked in. And yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. But, that's so much me. That's just who I am. I do like to, well, first of all, I love to learn new things. And so I love that. And then I don't know, I like to get involved in new things. So, for example, like now that I'm retired, I'm even more interested in getting involved in different things so that I can keep busy, right? So, like my reading, oh my gosh, I'm just loving it. I mean, but I have to kind of go at how do I say this, at a certain pace because every time I start a new book, I'm hooked until I'm done with it. So it's kind of like for a couple days, 2, 3 days, I'm not going to be doing much else because my nose is going to be in that book. And that's okay. That's good. That's fine. No problem with that. But I just have to know that about myself. Um, and I learned that right in the past few months that's what's going to happen. So if I have a lot to do in the garden, I am not going to pick up a new book to start reading. So that's how I have to pace myself and make sure I don't get too engrossed in a new novel before, when I have too much other stuff going on. So at this point, I have stitched down to where this lace starts. And I have to make a decision. Am I going to stitch across the lace with this same thread, or do I want to do something different? And I think what I want to do is not stitch across the lace. And I'm going to basically just stitch this little area right here, and then I'll go and I'll stitch this area over here, and then the lace I will probably do in a vertical stitch so that it gives a different appearance than this horizontal stitch. I decided to speed up the video just a little bit here. So you're going to see me stitching and it's going to look like I'm stitching really fast. And I'm not. I'm stitching at the same pace as I just was. But it's funny. So, anybody that records videos, you're going to totally get this. I sit down to do this voiceover, and my cousin across the street decides to clean out his truck with a shop vac. So I have my window wide open. I was sitting in my living room, window wide open, and all of a sudden he turns this thing on. Usually it's my other cousin next to me who's either doing, the leaf blower or mowing his lawn or something. It's funny. It can be difficult to actually record sometimes. Yeah. But I love it. I do love it. I love being with all of you. I love your comments, and I really enjoy just the chit chat perspective of it. I chat about other things besides, just slow stitching, but I guess it's more of almost even no, it's not a vlog. I was going to say it's a vlog, but which is, you know, like a video log of your day or no, so I don't do that. But yeah, so I do enjoy spending time with all of you and reading your comments. And oh my gosh, everybody in this crafty artsy community. There's a few, you know, every once in a while you might get a bad apple, but really it doesn't really happen to me, I must say. I hear other creators, you know, talk about things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm glad that didn't happen to me. I mean, God forbid I get a thumbs down. Oh my gosh, it's like the end of the world. And that rarely happens. And when I get one, I try to convince myself, oh, they meant to hit the thumbs up, and by accident they hit the thumbs down. Yeah, that's how I rationalize it. All right, so in about a minute, I'm going to stop my voiceover and it will be just me talking regularly as I'm recording the video. But what I'm going to show you is something that I'm messing up right now. Can anybody guess what I'm doing that has created an issue? Okay, so I'm noticing that I somehow stitched this brown piece on with that lighter piece. So, and I don't think I want that just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that off and then come in here and just kind of, let me grab my right scissors here, and I'm going to trim this down. So what I should have done was be more aware of where these stitches were that are really low. So now with that cut, now that'll be fine. That will work just like that. And then this was up here, like this. All right, so now we're back on track. So that's going to be it for today. We're doing good so far. We're getting there. And I will probably work on this during the week. So, I mean, I can't guarantee it. But I'm going to try to work on this during the week. And so that next week, it's a little bit further along. I'm thinking my next piece I sew will probably be this lace right here. And what that's going to do, if you look at it, it's going to get this brown piece, this dark piece, partially sewn down. It's going to start sewing this piece down, and it's going to start sewing this piece down. What I'm looking at is this lace, how it's overlapping this pink flower. And I don't know that I want that. So I could actually cut this piece of lace down just a little bit. And put it like this. I think that's better. I like that better. It's a little bit smaller. But yet this flower right here is intact. So I like that right there. But that's it for today, and I will see you next Monday. And I hope that you all have a wonderfully blessed week. All right, bye everybody. Thank you.